Hey, everybody. Hope that you are having a fantastic Friday. Welcome to part 5 of being a sales Sherpa on LinkedIn. And what's great about working from home in these very odd times is that sometimes everything goes sideways, including your 8-month-old who just wants to share, you know? And all the technology is definitely getting a little wonky. So like kind of everything at once is just kind of off. But we're going to power through this. It's going to be a bit of a shorter message today. Thank you for sticking with us all week. And I'm really excited to share just a couple final ideas with you here on Friday about how you can use content effectively on LinkedIn as a salesperson, as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, freelancer, somebody who's trying to get business and make business happen. If he's gonna be on camera making noise, might as well just, at least bring a little bit of his cuteness to bear. So here he is. Is that what you wanted? All right. Hey, Heather. Hey, Katie. Thanks for joining us on a Friday. Hey, Adam. How you doing? So I apologize. We're going to keep this short because this is going to keep happening. But all right, we're going to probably have an additional. He wants to listen in, maybe. You know what? Here's a lesson in LinkedIn and life. Sometimes you just have to roll with it, right? You just have to roll with it. Okay, so what I wanted to do today was share some ideas on how you can create content as a salesperson, as somebody who doesn't have a lot of time. And this works just as well for freelancers and for solopreneurs, people who you might not be a content creator. I think one of the big mistakes that people make is that they think creating content, sharing things on LinkedIn is really easy. And it's not. Writing isn't easy. Running a podcast isn't easy. Making videos isn't easy. But I do think there's some simple ways that we can create content to actually start to share our message on LinkedIn. So let me give you a couple ideas. And after the call, I'm going to put a link to a longer article I did write about this topic for some other ideas. Basically, when you're thinking of creating content in a simple fashion, what you're really trying to do is create these short little insights, these little bursts of content that you can share on LinkedIn. Again, you're not trying to start a blog. You're not trying to start a full podcast, but you are trying to, yes, exactly. But you are trying to create something that you can share out to your network to position yourself as an expert, as a sales Sherpa. So here's a couple of ways that you can be more effective in creating this content. One of the first is actually video. It doesn't have to be LinkedIn Live. I mean, that's actually still in beta right now, so I don't know if they're accepting more people into the program. But native video on LinkedIn is a really powerful way to share content, and really anybody can do it. I think creating a YouTube channel that has a lot of traffic and lots of great videos on it with fantastic editing, that's tough. But doing a series like once a week, making a 2 or 3 minute video, using your phone, right? Using the high quality video studio that we have in our phone, and sharing a piece of insight that you have about the industry, about how you're helping your clients, super, super easy and super valuable. Do it once a week. What I would suggest if you're going to do that, go do a quick Google search on how to have high quality video content. All right. How to make high quality video content with your phone. There's some basics like making sure you have good audio. I'm not sure what's happening with the audio today. Good lighting, all that kind of stuff. One of the big tips I would give to make good video content: don't have a wiggling baby in your arms while you're doing it. But that can be a great way of, again, you can use the LinkedIn platform. In fact, if you use the LinkedIn app on your phone, you can record directly to it. but just once a week, do a 3-minute video. Boom, you've got one of your days covered. Calendar that we talked about on Tuesday, and even better, your voice, like literally getting your voice in front of your prospects and clients. Another thing you can do as far as audio is, thanks, Heather, is audio. It's hard to start a podcast. And let me take it back. It's not hard, but it takes some effort. There can be value in creating a podcast if you want to do that and talk about your industry. It's a great way to talk to prospects. But a thing that's really, Liam, can I please have this? You can't chew on the microphone. Okay, thanks, buddy. One thing you can do is try to get on other people's podcasts. There's over 750,000 podcasts right now. There's 750,000 podcasts right now. Many of them are searching for guests. Think about the ones that you enjoy listening to about your industry. If there's interviews on them, reach out. Maybe they've got a full list of people that they can, oh my goodness, that they can interview. But so a lot of times, I know this as somebody who runs a podcast, sometimes they need guests. So just say, hey, would you like a guest for your podcast? Okay, great. Now he's going after the mouse. But what's really good is that once you get on one or two, you can then share that with other potential podcasts to be on. And again, once the reason why you do this is it's shared content, meaning you've created this interview, and then you can start posting it on LinkedIn, and that can be a lot of fun and really effective. And if you want to create your own podcast, there are actually now some services out there that try to do kind of a plug and play around creating a podcast, and that might be good to do. I don't think that you're going to necessarily create a podcast that gets thousands and thousands and thousands of downloads, but if it can be a good excuse for you to interview people, a great, I don't know what you'd call it, tactic is to start a podcast and just interview prospects, right? It's a lot easier to say, hey, you want to be interviewed than, hey, can I have 30 minutes of your time? So that's also a great way of creating content. Oh, okay, great. So again, apparently this is about the extent of the time I've gotten. Yeah, okay, great. So can I tell them one more idea? Can I give them one more idea? Is that fair? Just one. All right. So one other thought that I would have is if you want to create written content, but you don't like to write, use a platform like LinkedIn's publisher platform or Medium, somewhere you can write a blog. And instead of writing a blog, do a collaborative article, meaning ask a question that's important in your industry. Ask, talk about a certain challenge or solution or movement within the industry. Reach out to 5 to 10 of your prospects with a quick email saying, I'm putting an article together. I'd love your insights into this question or these 2 questions. Can you write 3 or 4 sentences? If you reach out to 5 people, oh, I know. Okay, how about we go over here? We'll see if this works. It might not, but we'll try. Okay, that didn't work. If you reach out to 10 people and get 1 paragraph from each of them, that is a 10-paragraph article and a really easy way to create written content where you didn't have to write. And even better, you promote that on LinkedIn. You can promote that many times. In fact, you write one article like this where literally you've said, what's the most important trend in X, where X is your industry? Ask 10 prospects or leaders in your industry, and then you publish that article, but then you can actually have a post once a week for 10 weeks where you say, hey, I wrote this article, and then just write what one of the people contributed to it. So you got 10 pieces of content, plus you've had really great conversations with them as well. Katie, Great question. What is your recommendation for those of us that have to go through marketing approval for videos or live content? Go to them. In fact, one of the things that we didn't get to talk about this week, so it's going to come back in the next week or two, is how to work with your marketing team to create really good content for you to share. The best way of doing this is actually to start a conversation with them. So literally say, hey, here's what I want to do. Here's the content I'd like to share. How can you help me create it? Because that's kind of marketing's job, but a lot of times there's this schism between marketing and sales. So I think it's great to actually go and have a regular conversation with them about, hey, here's the stuff I want to put out. I'd like to do these 3 videos. Can you help me write the script? Or, hey, what are some important things that we should talk about? Because marketing is going to eat that up because they want to find a way to make organic, insightful content beyond just the stuff that they can do. And you can say, hey, I'm talking to customers all the time. I'm having these conversations. Wouldn't you, it's going to be better if we work together. So that's, Katie, that's exactly how I would approach that challenge. And in fact, I don't think it's a challenge. It's an opportunity for collaboration and partnership with them. So that idea of getting 5, 7, 10 prospects, key thought leaders in the industry. Again, it depends a little bit on who you're selling. That can be a really good way of creating content where you don't have to create most of the content. By the way, as a complete side note, if you ever want to clean off your work area, if it's getting a little cluttered, just get a 9-month-old. We turned 9 months on Monday, and they'll take care of everything. Now, the floor, completely different story. The other thing you can do, by the way, if you aren't as comfortable with audio, do an interview where you come up with 10 questions, type them up, and ask somebody in your space if they'd like to do a written interview where you're actually creating an article. Again, it's a more long form through LinkedIn Publisher, through Medium is another good place. But you could actually talk to your marketing department and say, hey, how can we get a blog article up on our blog and interview somebody in your space and just type it up so that, a typewritten interview can be really valuable as well. You can't eat that paper. That's probably, maybe you need the right fish. I don't know. Okay. Those are some ideas on how you can create content easily. There are some more. I'm happy to chat with you, answer any specific questions you have. After this, I think we are definitely at the end of the fuse with Liam. Thank you for sticking with me through this. I really appreciate that. In these weird times, you just have to go with the flow. Next week, I'm going to be back every day at 11:30. No, I will be. It's okay. You want this? Here, you can have that. All right. I'll be back every day at 11:30, and we're going to actually really look at interpersonal communication skills. We're going to look at empathy in the sales process. And again, all of us sell. So even if you're, in sales, a business owner, entrepreneur, solopreneur, we're going to talk about about why it's important, where it really fits in, and really how to develop it, some of the skills. Because I think empathy is one of these words that's getting thrown around quite a bit right now. And I don't think people actually know what they mean when they talk about empathy and speak about it. So let's dive in. Let's really look at it, because that's a drum I've been beating on for quite a while. And there we go. And in the meantime, everybody, please stay safe, stay healthy. If you have any questions, please reach out to me afterwards. More than happy to help. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't even know. We're completely off the rails at this point. If you're not on our newsletter, get on our weekly newsletter. I think that's it. If you are a small business owner or a solopreneur, a freelancer, we have the Selling Launchpad, which is our coaching group we run. We have 2 calls a month. The calls in April are available at no cost. We're actually opening up just to support people during this time. Please reach out to me afterwards. Happy to invite you to that. And finally, I say at the end of every time, say thank you to all the people that are really making things run in our economy right now. The delivery drivers, the grocery store workers, the truckers, and of course, at the front line, our healthcare professionals. So if you know any of them, or run across them, obviously say a huge, big thank you. And other than that, be patient. Thank you for being patient today. Be kind and take care of each other. We'll see you next week, everyone. Bye.